We're going to try and unmute. Okay, I'm going to call the park board meeting to order at 7:23. All right. I would like to introduce, hang on, I've got some notes in front of me here. We have Adam Chester that's now on the board. Matt Campbell is not in attendance tonight. He is at a sporting event for his job. So, and then we have Olivia and Dan, and currently we are without a council liaison. So with that, are there any public comments, questions, or concerns? Okay, great. You guys have in front of you the memoranda from May. If someone wants to make a motion to approve those or corrections.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Does the Scrivener's error need a vote?
You just
Or
make
just
it,
a-
make it in your motion that would be correct there.
Okay, so there was an error in the memoranda from the February meeting. It was noted that the December memoranda was approved, but it was actually January. So I make the motion to
Correct there.
my brain is fried. To correct the error to have those resubmitted.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right. Okay, set those to the side. I don't have any budget review this evening. I have not gotten with Teresa for an updated any information for that. We have no presentations. For old business, we do have State Bank here this evening. He was in Alaska for our meeting and could not meet with us when we went through everything with the maintenance agreement.
Horrible excuse.
Right, I know.
I wish I was there because I wasn't coming in, you know.
But no, everything was approved by town council for that, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
We're good there. I know you wanted to speak with us this evening, so I'll just turn it over to you.
Great. Well, first of all, thanks. And yeah, I wasn't at the June meeting when two other representatives were here. We're almost done. There's a little bit more construction going on, some finishes over at the branch. So that's going to be done soon. So we want to start getting our attention on the park and coming up with there's some agreements on what we wanted to do. One of them is the flag displays that's there. We want to do some upgrades there. And then obviously work through any other kind of where the expenses are coming from that we need to reimburse, and then what we're going to do in regards to upkeep ourselves. Those things we want to make sure we have all that locked and loaded with you guys so that we can make sure that the payments are going where they need to and things are getting done. And the real reason I wanted to come tonight is that I know that there's been some connection to the school system around when they do service projects and different things. We also know that I think you had mentioned that maybe one of the teachers reached out about a senior project. So we actually had an interaction today with Dr. Bowles and the school about just things in general, as well as is there something we can do with the students around what else should be happening or what other improvements can be happening at the park. And so I was mostly coming to see what you guys have done in the past with the schools to make sure we have the right people to talk to about it, because the big thing for us is it's a community park. It's not our park. We want it to be a community park, and we want to get people involved with it. So that was more of me just coming to see if you had any kind of suggestions or feedback around how the school and how else we could interact with the community on any of the improvements and things that we could do.
Absolutely. So we'll go back to the beginning. So with the maintenance agreement, we agreed that State Bank would pay the town the water bill. In exchange, the LCA would still have access to the water spigot in State Bank Park. I'm going to say Central Park, because that's how they water the flowers down Main Street. The amount, I believe, was set at $25 a week. And in turn, that then pays for the labor. So the town utility department will still be mowing all of that fun stuff, plowing in the winter, any of that thing, and that $25 spread out over the year equated to approximately how much was being spent on
And to
payroll.
my knowledge, at this point, I don't believe we've received a bill, and so we wanted to make sure that we're taking
Which
care of that.
I'll get with Teresa and see
That way we-
when they're flipping all that over. Yeah. So, and then the electricity, the town will continue to pay because there is no way to split the cost of the electric for that park. It's on an entire string of street lamps. So that's why we set that up the way we did. So, I do believe that, Deborah, bank manager, she said that they'll still maintain the flags, but then town employees will take care of everything else. So that's where, I don't know, do you know if it was in the final agreement on the, whether, if it would be like one cumulative payment? Because that was not on our side, that was on,
We left it open to either. It was an either.
okay,
So whichever.
And we
So-
don't- we- whatever works best for the town.
Okay.
We just want to make sure that we get started and don't.
absolutely. So I'll have a conversation with Teresa, figure out how she best wants to deal with that part of it.
Wasn't there a decision on revisiting the number each year?
Yes,
well.
yeah. So
We
we can
can
go
go
back
back.
to that number annually to make sure that the amount that is being paid is enough to actually maintain the park. So,
And when will that happen? Since we're kind of hitting in the middle of the year,
Pretty sure.
is it
the
start of the year in?
Is
Is it
the
just
original, was it June or July? I'm not sure what the document
Fairly sure
was.
it's July.
So
on a
agree.
July basis? I just wanna
Yeah.
make sure.
I'm pretty sure that it was left open, but it was leaning heavy towards once a year.
And that's what I thought.
I'm
as
almost
well.
positive.
I feel like it was one of those fill in the blanks.
Yes.
That
as long as you give us clarity, then whatever works.
perfect. We can do that. As far as student involvement in the park. So in the years past, the middle school, it's always been the middle school, high school just started this year. They do their public day of service. When it comes to State Bank Park, it's mostly just spreading mulch. The flowers, the lights, all of that sort of thing that are in the park are usually maintained by LCA members. I do believe they continue, or I do believe they want to continue doing that, but it doesn't exclude the students from being able to do anything in that park, obviously.
Who's the contact? The LCA.
That's me.
Oh.
I'm the vice president for them. Yeah. Which you'll notice on the agenda, we do have the senior service learning project listed here. So we'll kind of just tie them all into one. Molly, it's no longer Bays. No, it is Bays. It's no
Yes.
longer Fields. Molly Bays reached out to me. Goodness. They are wanting input on the senior service learning project. It's a project the seniors do every year. This year, they would like it to have more involvement in the community. So then, of course, when Nick reached out to me, it all just kind of fell in together. I'm trying to pull up her email real quick. She said they're hoping to get the seniors plugged into the community by working with various organizations. She was wondering if we were interested in working with a small group of seniors. They could come up with a project on their own, whether it be maintenance, fundraising for a new piece of park equipment, landscaping, etc. You could let them come up with an idea, and then obviously upon your approval, or we could provide them guidance on how we would like them to go forward to serve the community. So I don't know if that's something we want to wrap in with State Bank Park. If anyone has any ideas on anything the students could do specifically in that park, or if we want them to do a project outside, two birds with one stone type deal.
Are we narrowing the scope of it to just the parks? Like park sponsored town cleanup? Does that make sense? It's not just in the park. Like I go running around town all the time. There's trash everywhere on the sides of the roads and everything else. Can that be park sponsored town beautification?
So typically when the students come into the town, it's a day in May, there is a group of kids and that's what they do.
Okay.
So they already have a group of students. So the 6th graders clean up around the school. The 7th graders go and clean up the cemetery. And then the 8th graders actually go around the town to the parks, elderly residents. And they gave me a number last year on how many bags of trash they picked up. It was disgusting. But so that is something that they do already.
Okay.
So I think, I know I don't know what the senior project was last year. 2 years ago, they had created the banner, I guess we'll call it, or sign that's right there by the lodge. That was their community service project. So I think for this piece, they're wanting one specific action
Tangible
item
item.
type thing. Yes. So I don't know if that answered any questions or made it clear as mud.
I mean,
But
this is going to sound like it's passing the buck, but for the students, I think it would be a really good idea to make them brainstorm on some ideas as
I agree with
part of the project. I mean, I think it's good for the students to do that.
I agree with that. Instead of us just handing them.
Yeah, and I think it gives them more ownership of it too.
So when you had your conversation today with the school, were they wanting to do something separate or
They were just
open to
saying
anything?
open to anything.
Okay.
I believe, and I left my notes from that meeting in the car. I think the ag teacher was someone that I wanted me to reach out, because I think there's two sides of it from what I'm thinking. I don't want to, certainly if the students want to do something from a service perspective, great. We're also talking about how should that flag display be designed? And is there other design things? I know that, I believe one of the picnic tables that are over there, students made. So
Yes.
there's, the question I think is twofold for us. Is it all part of the service day, or is it two different things? Feel free to do something service oriented in the park, but also have students that want to kind of dig into what could we do there? What are the options, and do we need to upgrade the pergola or whatever, and that type of thing. So I
Absolutely.
guess it's kind of two sides to that question.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that whatever you guys would like us to do, if it's okay for us to work with the schools on some of the design stuff so that we get students involved in that part of it, we would like to be able to do that too.
Personally, absolutely.
I mean, I love that idea.
Yes.
Do we need
Yes.
to, do we need to have any direction on scale of the project, or, I mean, as a high school student, they're gonna probably come up with some big ideas. Or they're small ideas, right? It depends on who the person
So I
is.
think
The question is are you comfortable with, what are we comfortable with?
Well,
And how was it
the whole
taken,
thing
you
would be whatever ends up happening, you guys are going to see it.
Right.
It's not like we're going to go over with a shovel without you guys.
No,
knowing.
absolutely.
And then I think it's on us around what's the scope could be, because how much would some of these grant plans be? But I really want to make sure that the flag system today. In fact, I did the flags because they're the telescopic poles.
Yeah.
We got a workout doing those today, make sure that they were right, and we just want to make sure that the U.S. flag is the right size. We have all that stuff the way it needs to be, and so to do that, we may have to move the poles. And so thinking through what's the best way to do that. And don't worry, the Bulldog will stay.
That is the only question I've gotten.
I think that was the only
Everyone
thing.
is so excited about a new flag display. They just want to make sure that the Bulldog isn't going anywhere. And I've reassured them every time. She might be moved. She might be turned. She's not going anywhere. Like,
Well, I don't know how easy it is to move it at all based upon how it was put in.
yeah.
So,
To your point, I mean, me personally, going back to the education of the kids, I think it would be cool if working with you guys and the school, if they came in and did a presentation to us of their ideas to get them some presentation skills, some public speaking skills, and kind of, to your point, have a little bit of feedback on the scope of the project, like the overall size and scope of the project.
Well, what I was thinking is maybe you give them an option, hey, come up with a flagpole design for somebody that doesn't want to really brainstorm.
Mhm.
But somebody else may have an option, hey, what else would you like to see in the park system? And let them kind of explore that. So if they wanted to come up with another idea that we may not think of, we can still do this flag project.
Yeah.
But maybe it's another idea that we haven't thought of today as a parks board.
And we'll
say,
put
hey,
it,
this is something we can implement long term,
yeah,
and agree with the students on what they want to see happen for the town. So
and a large disclaimer that you don't have to do whatever they
Right,
come up
right.
with
Yeah.
necessarily.
Right.
We're not locking you into that. But I just thought, I love that you guys are involving the school, hence the community. I just think if we can step that up even more.
Absolutely. So, okay. So as far as the flag display, I will leave that up to you guys. You guys can work with the school, work with the students, come up with a plan. That way, obviously you know the budget. It doesn't pertain to us. And then if and when the students are ready or find out that they're not involved, you guys come to us. We can do it at that time.
we'll just do some fact finding with the school, and I want to make sure that if there was already relationships or people that you guys had dealt with in the schools that we should be talking to, we'll kind of lay it out and then we'll kind of report back to you guys
Absolutely.
kind of where it's at. And we just want to make sure from a timing perspective, we don't want you to think, oh, they said they want to do this park and nothing's happened. We want to make sure this will take a little bit of time. because
Absolutely.
We want to make sure we do it
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Get it quickly.
Okay, so we'll keep the flag display in State Bank separate from the senior service learning project. I will reach back out to Molly and let them know that we want them to bring us ideas on what that project scope looks like. Agreed? All right.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is Frederick's Friends. The last meeting, we approved $1,697 from Recreation Insights to expand the playground. That paid for the borders and the ADA ramp. Because we did not have a meeting last month, Roger, as the council liaison, approved an expense to have the work completed. So that was, I don't have the final numbers because I don't think they've been billed yet. It was quoted to us at $3,500 to install both the borders and the playground equipment itself. And then I do have the mulch cost though, because then he approved the expense to have the mulch then sprayed in under the new equipment. And of course, because I work with Casey so often with this.
Which park was this again?
This is at Woodward Park. So the mulch was $1,500. Again, I don't believe either of them have been billed. That work was literally just completed, I believe, on Tuesday is when I got the update. So that part, the project for Frederick's Friends has officially been completed. I have reached out to Danielle and Kyle Noon. They are going to be scheduling a, not a ribbon cutting, a dedication ceremony for that. So I will give that information out as soon as I have it. Last thing on the agenda, any member comments, concerns amongst you guys?
Did you get any further with paving information? The last we talked, you had a second one. I still need to get that number from you. And I do know that Teresa had said something to me in passing about freeing up some more funds for us.
Yeah,
possibly.
so I haven't reached out to anyone else because until we have any idea of where the money would come from, I didn't want quotes to come in. I mean, we're 3 or 4 months out from the last quote I received, so it's already expired. So that's what I was told, to just wait, that there might be funds coming towards us, and nothing has been said. So I've not reached out to the other company yet for that reason.
I know you talk to her all the time. Do you want to talk to her, or do you want me to follow up with Teresa about the additional funds?
At this time, there are no additional funds. It was a possibility of funds, but I don't think they've allocated. Essentially, from my understanding, was that there were possible funds coming our way from the gas sale. But from what I know, the council has not allocated any of those funds at this time.
Yeah, I can speak to that.
Okay.
They have it all sitting in a fund right now. They intend and they have plans to choose where it's going, but they have not done so at this time.
Okay.
Do we need to raise anything that gets into their ears that we're looking for additional funds for that paving?
I
Is
think
that a good idea?
I think so. Yeah.
I can do that.
Both.
Which, I mean, Teresa knows that we're trying to, it's the paving out at Brookside Park to finish the Brookside restoration phase 1. Initial quotes were way over what our budget allows.
Paving of the parking area.
No,
the paving
of the
walking
path, the path through the Brookside
which I
restoration
was
project.
just out on, and it's gotten bad. I mean, we may even have to go back to some gravel build up to then pave.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's getting pretty bad. Water washing it out and stuff.
and that's what I figured. Yeah, so no, I've not gone back to that. With that, I'm glad you said that. So next month, MIST, which is the Madison County Invasive Species Task Force, oh my goodness, MIST, will be holding a call-out meeting. Our next meeting is September 24th at 7. They will be here at 6 p.m. So they will be here to answer questions for the public, give information on what they do, that sort of thing, because we are working with them to have a community day to tackle Brookside and the invasive species that are growing there. So that's what they do. That's what they have knowledge in. They just started this year and have done, what do they call them? Weed wrangles?
Yeah, weed wrangle.
Weed wrangles over at Falls Park. So they're wanting to do one in Lapel for us. So they will be here at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. before our next meeting?
Yes.
Okay. We should or could possibly have the new website up by then. And if so, we'll be able to post that event there, but I'll make sure
Perfect.
that gets added. I'll work with Lisa to make sure that note gets added. And then I might have access to the Facebook pages by then to where I can post additional about that.
Perfect.
And there is also the new website will have a sign up form so they can actually put a volunteer form up and get real-time sign ups for
awesome.
that.
Okay.
So maybe if all testing goes well, that's a big maybe, but it's
Okay.
it's a strong possibility. But we can at least get it posted on Facebook.
Which I know they were going to make flyers, but I have not gotten any of that information yet. So I'll reach back out to her and follow up with that.
Follow-up question on mist.
Absolutely.
I'll say it again.
Thank you.
Do they do like tree removals and things? You know, you go get a sapling and replace your Bradford pear. You know, that's a big thing. You know, kind of they do.
Yes. I don't know if that is something that they
I
do.
like coming and asking just because I got passionate about that. There's just a lot of invasive species, plants and two-legged. I'm kidding. But
It took me a minute. I was like,
Right?
did I say two-legged?
Two?
I like to be this. Is
Four.
what I like to be actually witty and try to.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so I think that'd be good to get community involvement. We've seen a lot of people chatter about wanting to go over there and do it.
Yes.
I forget the number that they said that they pulled from Pendleton, but it was massive. It was like 3 dump truck loads full
Yeah.
of weeds essentially in 3 hours.
I believe so.
Yeah, it was
3 or
like
4.
3 hours or 4 hours, and it was 3 dump truck loads. So, and they help provide all the tools. They do the training. They do everything.
I know Will said he'd be down too. He come join us on that day, wouldn't you?
My college days behind me.
That's cool. All right, thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Any other?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
I will be resigning from the park. Just a couple of things. I just don't feel like the town ever hears us. We've asked multiple times to try to get a part person and a part-time employee, and I just don't feel that we get that support. I feel like it's also pulling teeth sometimes for you to get a budget, and that shouldn't be. So just not anything to you, not anything. I just don't feel like we're being supported, so I'm gonna step away.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
serving
You're welcome.
as long as you have. Will we need that in writing as well? Or
Would love that, but I would also recommend making a motion to accept that resignation.
okay, that's why I wasn't sure if we needed it in writing before or.
Nope, you can do it now.
All right. I will make the motion to accept Olivia's resignation.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right.
Opposed, but
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I just have a question because I'm a new guy.
Yeah,
I did
absolutely.
see on here that my term stops at the end of this year,
Yes.
so I didn't understand that. So I want to make sure I understand that.
So, sorry.
Since I'm just starting today, that's why I was asking. So
So
We don't want you very long.
Yeah, no, sorry.
it's okay. I understand. I figure there's reason behind it. That's why I'm asking.
So each of our seats are set up on a 4-year term. One member is up every year.
Okay.
So the seat that you were appointed to only had until the end of this year left. So then come January, as long as you are still willing, I will request that the town council reappoint you.
That's fine.
And then you will fall to the bottom and have your full 4 years.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I figured I was either filling somebody's spot or.
Yes. Yep. You had filled an empty seat.
You're only here for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then the other question I have is because I am the new guy,
Mhm.
you know, if there's an email or something that I can help get me more up to speed on what's been going on so I can plug in wherever I can and help out.
Absolutely.
And, I'll be glad to run the streets and talk to people as much as possible. I'm in
Absolutely. I
town every day,
appreciate
so,
that.
Be glad to do that. And then anytime we have new ideas and thoughts on things of that type, for instance, like this high school thing, I think that would be a really, really good opportunity for us to figure out a way to engage the school, engage even the professionals that are in the area, for instance, landscape architects, things like that are parks
Absolutely.
people, and say, hey, come in and teach our students about those things and then let them run off of it. Because I think we don't get enough of that business structure meeting those guys. I know Lapel tries to do that. So
Yeah.
more of that we can do. That would be another way
100%.
to
I love
engage
that
that
idea.
conversation.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Anything else this evening?
No.
Okay. Our next meeting is scheduled for September 24th at 7 p.m. And we'll continue to be here at the Lions Club.
Sounds good.
Is there another meeting afterwards, or is there another scheduled meeting besides us that night?
As far as my knowledge, no.
No? Okay.
No, I found out about the previous one today or yesterday.
Yeah, I get it.
So, I always get stuck up. I can just adjourn the meeting without goodness. All right, meeting adjourned at 7:50. Thank you all.
I have 15 minutes. Larry, thanks for your service. I'm not calling you on the board.
I don't know.